Hey guys, welcome back. So in this session, in this part of the RAT course, we're going to be implementing a live-based keylogger, which live, like in real time, sends the keystrokes over the socket connection from the client to our server. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff in this vid. So I'm going to be doing a lot of copying and pasting from something that I already have written, okay? To make it go smoother, I'm gonna try to pinpoint everything you have to do, okay? So to get going, to get started on this whole thing, what you're gonna have to do is create a brand new form, okay? So go File, New, VCL Form Delphi. This will be form number 8. So what we're gonna have to do is call this form remote live logger. So let's go ahead and rename this. Let's do a save real quick. Just hit save all, and it's going to automatically detect that we have a new form that has to be saved as a new unit. So I'm going to call this remote live logger.pass for Pascal, and I'm going to hit save. Okay, great. Now on the caption of this, this is up to you guys. I'm just gonna put something like, I don't know, live remote keylogger or something like that. We'll just put remote live keylogger, and that's just what we'll put. Okay, wonderful. So now that we have this, I'm going to kind of help you guys design this out. Basically, you're going to need like 3 things. You're going to need a rich edit, a button, and a status bar. Now, in my particular case, I would prefer to just go ahead and do this because I already have my stuff made up. So I'm going to view this as text, and I'm just going to paste over what I already have and view as form. So this is our design. Make sure yours looks exactly like this, okay? You're going to have a rich edit right here, a little button in between here, kind of sandwiched in between the rich edit and the status bar. But you're going to have a rich edit, a button, and a status bar. On the status bar, you're going to need to right click on the status bar and go to Panels Editor, and you'll be adding a panel in there. Okay, the panel needs to just simply have something to give you a status here. I just put remote keylogger ready. Okay. So, and because I didn't do it by going here, it doesn't show because I pasted over my my DFM file. So that's why I automatically put it in there for me here. So as you can see, my my status bar here, its simple text is set to this. So really, if you don't want to have to do this, you can right click on here and add a panel if you wish, or you can just use what I did, which is the simple text right here. Okay, it's up to you guys. You can put as many panels in there as you want if you want to like show different stuff. But in any case, let's head back to Unit 1. We're going to have to essentially head back to Unit 1 and do the same exact stuff that we always do in all of our projects. So let's go ahead, pop into the code, come on down to where we create all of these T dictionaries. In this case, it is right here. You see all this crap? How we do T dictionary, T dictionary, T dictionary, blah, 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 blah. Well, you're just going to copy one of these. In my case, to make this go smoother for you guys, I'm actually going to scroll down through here on my original project, and I'm going to copy and paste. So you guys need to make some new lines here and make sure your code is exactly like mine. We're just creating a remote live logger forms T dictionary, which is going to be the key is cardinal and the form 8. Okay. Now you're going to get a red thing here displaying to you that you can't do this. That's fine. That's because we haven't included the unit yet. So let's go ahead and scroll up. Look for where we do the we add all of the forms and stuff in here. So like, for example, right here, you see how we do like all of these remote module interfaces, the forms. We're going to go right here and we're going to make a new one. This is literally just the same exact shit that we do every single time, guys. There's really nothing to it. Essentially, more or less, all you are really doing is just adding the name of the form, which in this case is just going to be remote live logger. So you're just going to simply add this in right here. So I'm just putting in remote live logger, and this is a form for viewing remote keystrokes. That's all I put for a comment there, okay? So save that. And on the form close for the on close event doesn't exist for me. I'm going to click yes to just remove that reference. I'm also going to click yes to remove this reference and any other references. You guys won't get that problem because you didn't paste the code like I did. Okay, so now that we've got that set up, we're going to have to focus on form create. So let's go here to events of the main server form 1's form create event procedure. So once you're here, you're going to have to create the dictionary in memory that we're going to be using for the remainder of this our rats running cycle, if you will. So right here, where we do create form 4, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7, making a brand new one. It's called remote live logger forms. Is going to be equivalent to creating a new T dictionary with cardinal of T form 8, and we're going to create it. Okay, that's all you got to do. So now that we've done that, we're going to have to create a deconstructor or a destroyer. So let's go to destroy. So on form destroy, when you close the program, in other words, when you close the program out, we're just doing the same thing, guys. Same thing we've always done. See all this crap right here? We're going to create a new variable. Okay, a new variable right here called remote live logger form is a type of T form 8. Okay, then we're going to come all the way down, and you see how we're doing freeing, blah, 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 blah. All the same stuff for all the same stuff, right? Just boom, 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 same code for everything. That's exactly what we're going to do here. So we're going to copy my code, which I have here, paste, boom. Make sure you write this. We're going to do for the client ID in the cloned remote live logger form keys. We're going to loop through them all, check if they exist, try and get the value of the current client of the cloned form we have open. If we find one, then we're going to free that form. Get it? And that's all there is to it, guys. Okay, so now that we've done that, we also have to come down to the bottom. So let's go ahead and create this real quick. We have to free the live logger forms free right here. Okay. So that's that, okay? So if you close out the program, you free up, we're just freeing up everything in a graceful manner. That's all we're doing, okay, guys? It's really super simple stuff. So now that we've got all this bull crap taken care of, we can get to kind of working a little bit. We got to do a little bit more tidying up before we're ready to really program the keylogger and all. So just bear with me a little bit longer. On the socket, we have disconnected, okay? So we're going to have to go here, because we have to handle if someone disconnects and there's a cloned form, we have to be able to free that form, et cetera, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to create another variable right here, okay? And that's going to be remote live logger form, which is a T form 8. We're going to, it's the reference to our cloned keylogger form, right? Get it? We're doing the same old shit, different procedure, okay? Same shit, different procedure. All the way down. See all this right here where we're saying, find it and close it, find it and close it, find it and close it, find it and close it. You see all that? The same shit. So come on down and come to the very bottom one, make a few lines for some space here. And we're going to do the remote live logger form clone free and kill and whatnot. So let's go ahead and paste that in. So we're going to search our live logger forms to try to get the value of the current person that we're talking to that's currently actively disconnecting from us. We're going to close out their cloned form because obviously bye-bye, they're going bye-bye, right? So we're going to close out their cloned form, and then we're going to remove their cloned form reference from our live logger T dictionary forms list that we've created. And that's it. Memory's free. You're good. Done. Okay, fantastic. Now what we got to do is we have to start development on our form here. So on the live keylogger form, as we've done in every single other form, like this reverse shell form, for example, we always create a client ID in public, which is the type of cardinal. So we're going to copy that, and we're just going to paste it right here in public. Same shit. Same old shit, guys. All right, so now that we've done that, we'll be able to come back over here and program in the buttons. So let's go to the, let's go over here to the client pop-up menu, double click right here. And what we will be able to do with this is add a brand new thing, which I'm going to type in right here. So let's go ahead and type right here. Let's do Keylogger live. And once we go into that, we're going to have some code made up. So let's go ahead and do the same thing. And guys, just so you'll know, the only thing I did here, quite literally, was copy and paste from other code. Check this out. All you have to do is just, for example, go to a reverse shell. All you have to do literally is copy from var all the way to the bottom. Just copy it and paste it right here. And that's basically it. Then you'll just change a couple things. But since I actually do have it written, let me go ahead and copy mine real fast, and I'll show you what to do, okay? So you're going to have your current client ID, which is a cardinal. And then you'll have remote. This is what you'll change. You got to change this from whatever you copied, because we didn't have a tform 8 before. So you have to create remote live logger forms as a tform 8 variable. Then you have to just, this is all the same. Just let it go ahead. And if you're not selected on anybody, then obviously exit, do nothing. Current client becomes equivalent to the data that we're hiding in the list view here that's appended to each different list item. Then you're coming down and saying, look, see if they're already cloned. Check if it's already cloned, because if it already is cloned for this person, we just want to show it and bring it to the front and make it set focus to that form, to that cloned form. Otherwise, we're going to create a new tform 8, and we're going to set its client ID to the current client ID that we're looped over, which is a cardinal value. Then we're going to add it to the T-dictionary, and then we're going to set its caption to live logger, client, and the current client's ID, and then we're going to display the form. That's it. You're done. Problem solved. Fixed. Boom. Ready to roll. Now, what we're going to have to do is go back over to this form, to the live keylogger. Guys, we're just patching stuff up. Guys, we already have a framework for doing all this. I've wrote this like 500 times. I wrote it for this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. It's all the same thing, guys. If you've been watching my videos, it's just the same code, no change. The only change is the tform 8 this time around. That's it. So I know I repeat myself in every video, like literally every video. But so on this, we have to finish the framework that we have, which is on close, I believe. So what we'll have to do is we have on create and on close. So what we will do is go here, go to events of the tform 8, go to on close, and for this, we would like to remove the T-dictionary and stuff, okay? So what I'm going to do though, guys, I'm going to copy my entire unit, because I've already written all the code for the entire project. It's about 185 lines. Well, there's blank stuff too. But in any case, let's go ahead and start from top to bottom, okay? So we are going to obviously have some stuff for the button one click. We're going to have a form create, form close, button click, and we're also going to have a private declared variable, which is a Boolean true or false, called fkeylogger active. This keeps track of whether or not the keylogger is actually active, false, or true, right? We also have our client ID, which I already told you to paste in there, and we have add log entry, which is a constant text variable to a constant text type, which both are strings. But the goal of this is to essentially keep track of where the user is actually typing into their computer. So like what application they're running at the time that they're typing and stuff. So, okay, let's just go to onForm create. So first of all, we need to say that our fkeylogger active is false, because obviously when the form gets created, we're not capturing keystrokes yet, right, guys? So we set it to false. So whenever the button, we need to set up the button's initial state. So I created a procedure which will check if the keylogger is active, and if it is active, or if fkeylogger active is true, then we'll set the button's caption to stop it, okay? And we'll turn the button's font color to red. This is honestly not necessary. I'm not going to keep these or the green either. You guys can throw whatever you want in there. I don't really care. So basically, if it's active, then we need to obviously make the button say, hey, you want to stop now? You know, you get it? And if it's stopped, then you want to make it say start, right? Obviously, right? You get my point, guys? So that's all I'm doing here. That's literally it. So that's that. So we do that to make sure if we're active or inactive and set up the button state, what it needs to say and do. I could have just done it right here, but it's better to prioritize this out into a different procedure. That way you're not always writing the same code over and over and over again. All right, so what I've done here, if I've set up the rich edit to clear itself, and then I've set the font name to Consolis, and then I've just set its size to 10, like a font size of 10. I thought that would be pretty decent to be able to see as a human being, right? And on the simple text, I just put remote keyloggers ready, okay? Which is technically already done for us at design time because it's already there anyway. But in any case, we're doing that. So that's on form create, okay? What about on form close? Well, if the form is closing, we need to say, if the keylogger is active, then we need to send the command to the client saying, hey, we're closing out the clone form, which means you need to go ahead and stop keylogging anyway, right? So we'll do that, okay? And then we're going to set it to false. And then we're going to remove ourselves from the T-dictionary list and free ourselves in memory. We're done. That's it. You got it? That's the form close procedure. We're just gracefully making sure that we're freeing up any memory and telling the client, hey, we're no longer here, we're no longer watching you, blah, 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 all that, right? All right, great. Now we move on to the button one click event procedure. This one is where the meat of the story for this whole thing is, right? So what we're doing is we're saying we're going to send, if you click the button, so let's say that it says start live keylogger. You click it, boom. It says to the client, hey, I want you to start keylogging now. And then we set our keylogger to true, active true. And then we say to the simple text of our status strip or whatever, it says keylogger is now started, right? And we're going to add a log entry called keylogger session started and its information. So this add log entry comes down here. This is a procedure which keeps up with different string types. So how I've done this is like, it can be type information, it can be type window. You kind of get what I'm going with that, guys. So like if it's if the client is typing into, for example, Notepad or something like that, right? You follow me? Then they're on their end, on the client's code end, which we haven't written yet, but I'll get there in a moment. But on their end, if they're typing into Notepad or Discord or, you know, whatever, it can be anything, right? Whatever. They send the text type of window here for us to keep up with. And I'm displaying that inside of the rich edit. I'm literally telling the human reader that's reading this, it's going to literally pop up right here and say, hey, the user's in this window. And then underneath it, it's going to show all the stuff they're typing in real time. You get it? Pretty cool, right? So that's essentially what this does, okay? Add log entry. Now, you guys have the code to this. Remember, you can always download it in the link in the description. So if you need help or if you need to look at this, just download and copy and paste it, okay? You don't have to take my word for it. You're not taking the word of, you know, just me on screen. You can literally download it, run it, and see how it works. You can also copy and paste it into your own custom projects. You're more than welcome to. This is all open source crap, right? So, so essentially, if it's information, it just selects the attribute color gray. I think my skinning engine though kind of overrides it. So unfortunately, it doesn't really change these colors, and I'll have to show you guys in a later video how to override that. But in any case, I'll leave this, but really it's kind of not necessary. The coloring stuff doesn't even work. But in any case, we're just adding a message to the rich edit, right? And that's all we're doing. And then we're putting the hashtag 1310 end character for a new line to start at the end of this text. And that's it. Okay, so if it's information, then it just pastes the text right in there. If it's window, however, it shows the user, that the user being you in this case, that the person is typing into a specific window on their computer, and then it actually shows the text that they're typing. And that's it. Okay? So that's all you need to know for that. Now, coming back to the button click event procedure, we start the keylogger or we stop the keylogger. It's that simple, guys. When you click the button, we do all this work and we update the button state at the end. Each time, depending on if we clicked this or this, the button state gets updated. Each time. Follow it. It's a pathway, okay? So if we either start the keylogger or stop the keylogger, then we'll know what we're doing in real time because the status bar displays to us what we're doing. And we're also changing our Boolean factor here, whether or not the keylogger is active, false, or true, based on what the button's text was. So we just roll through it, send the command to the client saying, hey, I'm ready to start keylogging you, or hey, I'm ready to stop keylogging you. See? You get it? Super simple stuff, right? And that's it, guys. That's literally it. Now, this is a special little procedure here. This is for the socket to deal with, okay? So when we get data from the client saying, you know, hey, here's a new character I typed in, or here's a keystroke that you're copying from me that I sent to you, or whatever, we have data type and content. The data's type is either window or text, or it can also be technical. So we have window, technical, text. So if, depending on which one of these three it is, whether it's window, technical, or text, we handle it accordingly in the log entry edition. You see that? So if it's a window, we're putting a whole bunch of characters, 50 of them, and we're saying this is a window. Get it? And then underneath it, if it's like text inside of that window that they're typing, then we just add the content directly. You get it? Okay, so and in case you guys don't, let me open Notepad just real quick. I know this is a little bit weird. So let's say that the user's in Notepad. It's going to do like this. And then it would put like, you know, Notepad, and then, or like that. And then down below, it would show like something like this. And then it would put like, let's say I typed hello inside of Notepad. Okay, you get it? So like it'll say, hey, they're typing in Notepad, hello. That's what they typed in Notepad. Oh, but let's say that the user goes somewhere else. Now let's say that they went to, I don't know, they went to Discord or something like that. I know this is terrible, guys. I know I'm just doing this quick, okay? But like, let's say they went to Discord, then they typed, hey man, or you know, hey man, how's it going? You know, and then they hit enter. So it would say like that if they hit enter, right? And then it would go down the line. See? So it's like this. This is the output. It's really nice because you can see where they're at and what they're typing. Where they're at and what they're typing. Get it? That's all this simulates, okay? Every bit of this. So now that I've done that, I'm going to save this code, okay? And we are going to proceed. So we need to go ahead and start working on the client, if you will. So let's go ahead and pop over to the client, go all the way to the top of the code, all the way up. Okie dokie. Wow, we are literally at the very top. Okay, so at the top of the code, we'll scroll down a little bit, and we're going to have to add the ability to keystroke or to create a key hook in Windows. So we'll go right here, and we're going to create a type structure for our keyboard hook stuff, which is Windows API calls mostly. So I'm going to paste it in. This is our KBDLL low-level hook structure for Windows API. Okay, and guys, if you're confused on this, here, let me open up a quick Firefox. Hang on just a second here, boys. Let me go to GitHub because I actually have another thing here. I actually have another project. So guys, This project right here is my Delphi low-level Windows keyboard hook example in Delphi. So it literally shows you the key hooking output as well as the simulated typing. Literally, guys, all I'm doing is copying my project from here and throwing it and making it compatible with our rat. That's all I'm doing. So guys, I'll leave this link in the description as well, so you guys can go there and download this as an example for yourselves, for those of you who haven't researched this already. But you can grab this and then you can understand exactly how it works. It's really super simple and a pretty powerful method of capturing keystrokes as well. So, oh yeah, so just go there, get this, learn it, and all you're doing is copying and pasting from my Unit 1 Pascal file here, which is just the same damn thing. Look, there's the keyboard structure. See how I copied that? It's the same code. You see? You see how, like, all I do is copy this and paste it into the rat. That's all I'm doing, okay? It's super, super basic, guys. Copy, paste. That's all you're doing, okay? So there you have it. I pasted that in. So now what we've got to do is we have to make it to where when this side, when you click the button, when you're sending start keylogger, stop keylogger, blah, 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 we have to make it to where the socket receives those commands on the client. So on the onHandle command event procedure for this netcom socket, we're going to go on down until we see where we have some blank commands at the bottom or whatever. So all this stuff that we're doing for each command, we're just adding 2 or 3 more commands, and that's it. That's all we're doing. See whatever you want, blah, 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 right? So I'll just go right here. But essentially, what we're looking for to do is to start the keylogger. So, and stopping the keylogger as well. So I'm going to copy from what I already have written here on my other project that I pre-made just for you guys. And we're going to have a couple of red issues here for start hook and stop hook. That's because we have to copy the procedures needed to start the hook and stop the hook based on where we're at, what we're doing. So we already have the command to be able to receive start keylogger and stop keylogger from the server, right here and right here, right? Okay. We have to add start hook and stop hook into this project. So basically what we have to do is go all the way to the top of our code, and where we have tform1 for the class of tform1, we're gonna scroll down, and you're gonna notice that we'll have to create just a couple of things. We're gonna have to create the procedure methods here, but we're also gonna have to add, I do believe, a few variable types, if you will. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab the keyboard specific functionality. So for this, just go down to where we do send microphone list right here. We can just put it like right here under the stop audio capture. So we'll do a procedure for start hook and a procedure for stop hook right here, okay? But then what we're going to do, we're going to have to Control Shift C to create that. And then we're going to have to do the other one as well. So Control Shift C, make sure that it does create them both. So we have start hook, stop hook. See that? We have start hook and we have stop hook, okay? So now that we've got this, I'm going to take this and copy it, and I'm going to find where I actually put my own. So here's the deal. I'm going to copy every bit of what I've got written here, and we're going to paste it right in. Boom. So this is the start hook procedure. This is the hook management procedures, both of them. So we're going to have a buffer of 0 to 255 of characters, so 255 character buffer, and our hook status data. Guys, again, if you don't know what any of this stuff means, you're gonna just have to go look at my example that I wrote on GitHub, okay, for Windows API low-level keyboard hooking, okay? Now, there are some things here. We have to create these variables that I was talking about earlier, and I forgot to add them. So what we're gonna have to do is we're going to have to take, there's two of them that are necessary. So here, let's do Control F private. And we can just do it right here. So this right here, you're going to create an F hook handle, which is an H hook, and you're going to create an F current window. This tracks the current active Windows title that the user is currently inside of when they're typing on their keyboard. Get it? Pretty cool, huh? All right, so there's those two right there, and you put those underneath the class tform1 stuff. So class tform1, make sure they go in private declarations, okay? So paste both of those in private. Now that we've done this, I know we're just all over the place with this shit, I really know. It's really nuts, guys. But basically, at this point, we're ready to go ahead and begin this stuff. So we also have to have more stuff pulled over from my other code. So let me copy this real quick so I can figure out where I put that. So essentially, this is going to be a function, if you will. So this function is going to be low-level keyboard proc. So let me go ahead and copy this code real fast. And if you guys need to copy and paste, you can just look at the code and copy and paste yourself. Or you can go and look at my, like I told you, my example over on GitHub and just copy and paste directly from there. But in any case, I'm going to paste it right here, okay? And now that we've got that kind of going for ourselves, we also want to take a look. Let's see what other errors we've got. Get character. It is saying that we have an undeclared identifier. Well, that is actually due to being a D word for the virtual keyboard codes, which means this is also a function, this get character thing. So let me copy that. Hang on just a second here, boys. I got you. Right here. Paste. Okay. This is a get character function which takes in a virtual keyboard code as a D word, and shift is Boolean true or false. Now guys, I'm not going to go into this, but what you need to understand is these are ordinate characters based on whether or not you've held down the shift key, because as you all know, you have function, you have shift, you have uppercase, lowercase, special characters, blah, blah, blah. This basically more or less tries to take care of a lot of that for you, okay? Whether or not you have shift, turn, like click down or whatever, then it's going to do different keys for you and stuff like that. Notice how after I pasted this in, it fixed all the errors we had. So let's go ahead and focus on what we need to focus on, which in this particular case was the down here in this code. So if we start the keylogger, we're going to start our hook. When we stop the keylogger, we're going to stop our hook. Okay. Now we still have to write this code for the stop hook. So let's go here to the stop hook code right here, and I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste what I got. Okay. So for the stop hook, we're going to have this code right here. So all we're doing is we're setting our hook status data to key hook stopped, and we're sending that over the command, the socket to the server to let him or her know that, boom, you stop, key logging, right? Okay, so this is essentially made up. It's almost ready to roll, but we still need to walk you through it. So let's go back down and start over. So when you start this keylogger, we're going to start our hook, our low-level keyboard API hook. When you stop the keylogger, we're going to stop the hook. Now let's say that we start the hook, okay? So let's go to that code first. When we start the hook, we're going to set a hook handle to nothing. Then we're going to begin and set that hook handle to window keyboard low-level hooking instance 0 for this application. This is all Windows API related stuff, okay? And we're pointing that at the low-level keyboard proc. So every single time the keyboard hook detects that a key has been pressed, it's going to send that key through this process, okay? So if the keyboard hook handle is 0, then we're going to say the key hook failed and we weren't able to do anything. Holy shit. Otherwise, we're going to say, yep, we started it up. We're good to go, and send that over the socket and say, hey, key hook was started successfully. Otherwise, we're also going to initialize window tracking as well. So we have to initialize that, get the buffer of the characters of the window. So guys, what I'm doing here, let me show you. See Notepad? See how it's untitled hyphen Notepad? This is the characters that we're getting from the foreground window. So this right here, this is like saying UNTITLED 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See that? Up to 256 characters. You get it? We're copying the title of the currently active window. Okay? That's all we're doing. And that's it. And then we're coming down and we're saying, hey, here's the initial window information that we just grabbed, which means the user is currently, here's some keylog data. They're currently in a window, and that window's current title is here. And then we're sending that over the socket. That's it. That's all it does. That's starting the keylogger, okay? That's it. That's literally it. Now, let's focus. Every single time a user presses a key, guess what's going to happen? Boom. This is going to happen. So let's look kind of through this. It's a little bit, but essentially what it's doing, every single time that someone does something, we're checking to make sure they're in the same window or not. And if they, depending on whatever, it doesn't matter where they are. We don't give a shit. All we care about is what they're typing. So like we get their window, the title of the window they're currently in, right? And then we're going to send that keylog data over when the window plus the window's title. Then we're going to go through all of these different possible special cases of backspace, enter, tab, escape, text. And if it's text-based, then it's, it's the character that we're going to be sending over, which is the keystroke data itself. And then all these other stuff like left, right, down, up, this whole thing, guys, it just copies text that the user is typing in on their keyboard and sends it over the socket, and sends it over the socket, and sends it over the socket, and sends it over the socket. You get the point, right? And how we've done this is every time we have keylog data that's going to arrive on our server over here, like on our server, we're going to send keylog data and the data's type that it is. And if you guys remember, that'll be handled through this procedure. So it can actually be window, it could be info, or it could even be stat technical. Like, see, it can be data type of all this stuff. It can be window, it can be technical, or it can be text. So in this case, it's text, 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 text. You see all that? Text, text, window. You get kind of what I'm going with here, right? Okay. So we're just grabbing their keystroke and boom, 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 and sending it off over the socket connection so it'll show up right here. Get it? So now we got to make that magic happen. We got to tell this thing exactly what's going to happen now. So we have to tell this socket how to receive this data that we're sending. So on the server side, we're going to go into the server socket on handle command, and we're going to make some new stuff here. So I'm just going to pick up a spot. I don't care which. This one looks good enough to me, right? So basically what we'll do is just figure out the parts that we desperately need to figure out, which essentially, we have like different ones that we can do. So the first one that we have obviously is going to be, let's go look at the client. It's keylog data, right? So we're going to have to figure out the keylog data, right? And then there'll be a key hook. So there's a couple of different things we have to really add. So let me go ahead and copy these from my other project real fast, and I'll go through it with you super quick, because this is actually really simple. It's the same exact code that we've already written probably over 100 freaking times by now. So let's go back over here and paste. This is going to be 2 big long ones. Boom. This is quite a bit, but hang on, just bear with me. Here's the keylog data and also the key hook. Because remember, if we start and stop the hook, we're telling the client, hey, we want to know if you successfully hooked onto the keyboard. You see, key hook started, key hook failed, right? So we're sending that to key hook. So if the server, our rat here, receives that command, key hook, then we're going through and we're saying, hey, look for the clone form, like, get down to the nitty gritty, blah, 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 blah. Look for our clone form. Tell it that if the status type is started or stopped or failed, depending on which one of these, if it started, if it stopped, if it failed, right? So if it failed, started, or if it stopped, which is another thing somewhere else in this code that we've done, then we're going to act accordingly to each one of these commands, these subcommands in the original command statement. So if it started, we're going to say that the status bar 1 simple text on the clone form needs to say keylogger hook is active, and we're going to enter in keyboard hook installed successfully. That's information. And we're also going to set the button's caption to stop live keylogger, and we're going to put that to red. I'm just going to remove this. This is trash that's honestly not necessary. Also this one as well, we won't be needing that anytime soon. And also this one right here, which is not necessary. Okay, so as you get it, we either start it, we stop it, or we failed, right? If we stop, we're just reverting all of this. We're just saying, hey, look, get rid of all this trash. The keylogger stopped, blah, 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 blah. If it failed, we're going to put, oh, there was a failure on their end, and this is the reason why, on the client computer that it didn't work, blah, 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 right? All right, I'm going to save that. So you guys get it. This is done. Key hook is done. Now let's focus on key log data. This is the most important part. So when we receive key log data, that's like saying that we received some text or information or whatever they're typing on their computer and their window that they're typing into, correct? So if they were to send this command, we have to granulate ourselves down, blah, 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 blah. What cloned window are we currently looking at? Blah, 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 blah. Then we're going to say, process the data in the logged cloned form. If the data type is window, add log entry, window, content, window. That's it. Else, if the data type is text, we're going to be interested in putting that text in there. Because remember, the only things we're interested in are text and windows when it comes to viewing the person's typed in information that they're entering on their keyboard. We don't care about information. We don't care about trash. We care about the window they're in and the text they're typing, which is why I only included these two in this procedure. So all we're doing is calling add log entry on the cloned form. And if you guys remember, it's at the bottom of the code. It's literally right here, handle keylog data. This is here, hang on. This is add log entry right here. So this procedure, boom, boom, boom. Every time we call it, it just goes boom, 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 right? So over here, we're saying add log entry, window, the content of that window, and make sure it's the type of window. And else, if the data type is text, then add log entry and the content that was in fact included in the text that was sent across the socket to us. Done. So guys, with this all done, we should be finished at this point. We should be able to run this keylogger stuff, and it should all work. So guys, a few things. These things were bothering me, so I've added icons here on the top part of this, just so you'll know. So I updated the rat with what we've done so far, like our remote desktop, webcam capture, task management, file manager, reverse shell, and now our keylogger that we've implemented. So at this point, everything is up to date and up to par. So let's go ahead and give it a run, okay? So I'm going to here. Let's go to this part real quick though on this this form, and let's create an icon just real quick before we give it a final test. Let's load up an icon. Let's make it. Let's make this. How about? I don't know. Just we need like a little. We kind of need us a little like keyboard type thing, I would think. Here, let me open up icon here. Bear with me here, boys. I'm gonna put a new icon in here. So we are searching for an icon now, and that icon is going to be a nice little keyboard. There it is. And yeah, so we'll load this one up and click OK, and boom, there you go. Now you got a nice little keyboard icon on there, right? Looks pretty cool, right guys? So all we got to do is give this bad boy a run for its money, see if it works. So let's run the rat. And as you can see, it looks like it's loaded. Everything's cool. These icons are shitty as hell, but oh well. If anyone's got a better icon pack for me that would actually look better, please deliver them to me. I beg you. These icons are trash. Okay, so let's run this. So again, this is running the client and the server. As you can see, they're both running. So now that we've got this loaded up, there's the first client that come in, that's me. So I'm going to click and we're going to right click and go to Keylogger Live. As you'll notice, I added all these icons and took out the other two options, which were used for testing purposes. So now it's looking just a little bit more professional, right? So I'm going to click Keylogger Live, and here we have it. Okay, here's the Keylogger. Looks like it's ready to roll. I'm going to open up just real quick for testing purposes. I'm going to open up a notepad window, okay? And I'm going to, I'll just pull this window like right here, okay? And we will get the rat kind of out here out of the way, leave the Keylogger window up on top so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to do a quick short test. So let's go ahead and click the Start Live Keylogger button. And as you can see, it says the Keylogger session has started. The keyboard hook installed itself successfully on the Windows machine. And we are now, I was inside of this window called Live Logger Client and the number, because when I clicked the button, I was actually in this window. Now I'm going to go to Notepad and type in hello. Look at that. It's perfect, right? I'll put a space. Hello again. What are you up to? Look, I put a smiley and it works. It's perfect and it's real time. Isn't that great, guys? So I'm going to stop that logger now and I'm going to close out of the client. So there you have it. That is a little live keylogger for our rat. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I will be trying to focus a little bit more on doing stuff quicker in the future. I know this one actually took me a little bit of time because not that I didn't know what I was doing or didn't have the code to do it already, because I did. I've just been super busy lately, so I apologize to you guys if you waited like, you know, pretty much 4, 5, 6 days for this to come out. I've just been super busy, so, you know, just remember Bitmaster has a life too, right? Life, job, work to do, you know. But in any case, this is ready to roll. It's done. I'll make sure to save this. I'm going to try to add some comments in the code for you guys so you can more easily understand. Also, don't forget, I will be adding a URL link directly to that GitHub repository that I have for the keylogger stuff, so you guys can go and learn that. It would be better if you guys would learn the low-level keyboard hook example before attempting to throw it into this or whatever. Well, I mean, I know I've basically thrown it in here for you for automatically anyway. You guys don't have to learn shit, but it would be nice if you would just go and learn that first before trying to throw it into your own rat. That way you can better understand how it works using Windows API calls for low-level keyboard hooking. But in any case, this works great. So fantastic, yippee. In the future, we're probably going to make for the next feature, this is just kind of up in the air, guys, but I may create a way for us to view installed applications on a Windows computer. It should be really super simple. It'll take me like 5 seconds to do it. But other than that, you know, you guys can throw more ideas on here. So in the community section where I asked for you guys to post more ideas, cast your vote, see what you want me to write next. I'll be happy to, you know, listen to you guys and code pretty much whatever you want. If you want stuff done like remote, like HV&C, I gotta be really careful, guys. This is YouTube. I can't be weaponizing like actual malware. That would be, you know, considered not cool, right? So that's why this is just all example stuff. This is nothing. I mean, this in and as of itself is really not that harmful. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to keep it to basic stuff that, you know, you would want to throw in a tool like this, but at the same time, I can't sit here and write you guys like, you know, malware. That's not a cool thing, right? This is YouTube, so I can't just sit here and code live malware for you. I can't do that. This right here is not in any way, shape, or form, in my view. You know, this is pretty trivial. I mean, we have the ability to view a desktop, a webcam, look through tasks, look through the file manager. We have reverse shell. I mean, I guess if you guys want to consider that damaging, whatever. And keylogger, of course, which, you know, but in terms of actual legality, this is not illegal. This tool does not hide itself. I haven't hidden this from view. It doesn't have an install functionality. It's harmless, guys. So I'm trying to keep it that way for the most part. I don't want to get in trouble. I like my channel. I'm going to abide by the rules and regulations that YouTube has placed out there, okay? So, and for that reason also, this is an educational tutorial-based course. So that's also why I take the time to code it out in length like this. I mean, this is ridiculous, guys. This whole project so far is 3,000 lines of code. Like, this could be shortened so far. Like, oh my God, this almost makes me want to throw up. I'm actually surprised I've produced this for you. But I know that if I went 100% pure professional, like literal to the, like balls to the walls, you guys probably wouldn't understand a lot of things, because if I did it in such a way, it wouldn't be spelled out for you so easily. Like, for example, here, let's look at those little dictionary things. I keep bringing this up in almost every other thing, but like the T dictionary classes and stuff that I've created with the key value pairs in them for all the different forms and stuff, it's just ridiculous. Like these, you see, it's just absolutely ridiculous, because you guys can look at this and easily understand that this is the T dictionary for remote task manager. This is the T dictionary for remote desktop. This is the T dictionary for remote webcam. You see, beginners, they look through this and they're like, oh, I get it. I see what he's doing. He's just creating a different type of dictionary for this one, and a different type of dictionary for this one, and for this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, right? It's easy to understand, right? For new people. But for people like me, we look at this like, what the hell are you doing, brah? Like, this is trash. Like, don't make a T dictionary for each and every single one of them. Just compile them into one. You can have a key value pair of a T form type. You don't have to go T form 4, 2, 3, 5. I mean, good God, this is using up more memory than it's worth. Like, you see what I'm saying, guys? Like, just little details like that. And even on this end, like this socket being a VCL form application component, the way we threw it onto the main form, it's now reliant on the main form's thread. So what that means is that even though it does process things in the background, depending on how you program it, it actually is not going to respond as quickly as it could respond if this were a non-VCL based application. Because the thing about the VCL application is that the main thread locks anytime any of these components have some sort of dependency to look at or grab. It's really ridiculous. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This project is educational, strictly for educational purposes, for people who are new, just getting started, and just wanting to learn how to get involved with coding rats and coding, potential malware, right? We'll say potential, because they may be an IT security researcher and they're looking for a step into this field. That's why I wrote this shit, okay? And by shit, I mean shit. Yeah, I'm calling it shit. This is trash. This is nothing compared to what I could really do. And absolutely nothing compared to what you could really do. You get me? So for that reason, I just wanted to be clear, because I've had a lot of people hitting me up like, oh man, this is cool. This is amazing. No, it's not. It's not amazing. It's shit, okay? It's not amazing. It's trash. It's like dog shit, okay? This is the worst case scenario. Actually, no, it could be much worse. Never mind. I won't even go there. It could be much worse. But in any case, is it cool? Yeah, that I'm able to take the time to teach people how to take a first step and a leap into this field and get started. Yeah, I sure as hell don't know anybody else that's ever created a truly amazing courseware material like this, where some guy sits here, writes it out in front of your face, and explains it to you practically letter by letter, character by character. I mean, this is cool. but it needs to be written so much better, guys. This is it's not a waste of time, that's for sure. It's definitely not a waste of time. I hope that each and every one of you is learning as much as humanly possible, because it can be very cool, but you need to learn multi-threading. You need to learn to create console applications and manage your own events in them. You need to learn about async callbacks and all this, just like you would with .NET based applications. You need to learn about, you need to learn how to properly thread an application like this so that it's instantly responsive, has no issues. For example, when this form gets created and we go through all the hassle of going through boom, 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 all this shit, whenever the socket gets called right on startup event here, this timer ticks with every 6 seconds until the socket connects. This timer, by turning off the client socket and setting its host and port and actively trying to connect it, this is blocking the VCL thread. So during the time that it's waiting to connect the socket to the server endpoint socket, this code is actually terrible as absolute shit because it blocks the main thread. So again, guys, I'm just running through stuff like this to try to teach you something. So I'll remove this, but this code should be threaded. In fact, this entire unit, like this entire VCL component, this entire library for this socket, shouldn't even exist on the form. A better way to do it is to create it in virtual memory itself, like RAM. Actually create it in memory and manage it in memory and have all of its events and all of its stuff and Humpty Dumpty and all of his men. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding, guys. Okay, so but have it in memory. That way, it's not affecting the VCL thread at all. And everything that subsequently is triggered or fired by this socket also happens in its own thread, respectively. That way, doing that alone with this right here would like absolutely blow you away. Like the ability, the speed of it, the quickness, the responsiveness would be ultimately just fucking God power. I mean, it really would. It would be fucking God mode if this did not have to block the main thread. You see what I'm trying to get at? It's kind of like this right here. You see this events use the main thread? I've got this off for now. You can turn it on, but leave it off. But the thing about it, it really doesn't matter. In fact, this would make it worse if it was true, probably. But it still doesn't matter. Like, as a professional, I'm telling you, you can make this so much more powerful just by threading this properly. But in any case, I'll stop there, guys. So you've seen the keylogger work. The next video, what it's up in the air, what I'll do, but I'll try to get around to making like a software viewer, like a remote software viewer, so you can like see all the softwares installed on them and whatnot. So the only changes I've done to the GUI here are I put all these icons on the buttons. I programmed these buttons to just call the click event procedure of the corresponding pop-up menu button. So file, reverse, keylogger, all these. That's what these buttons click if you have someone selected. And that's it. That's pretty much it. And so I also put the icons. So if you'll notice that I have image index on here and here and here, there's 7, 8, 14, 15, and 16. So when we run the rat, and I'll run it real quick here, you can right click and you can see all the little icons corresponding with what they go to, right? So that's that. That's basically what I've done with this. And we added the remote live logger. So that's that. I'll go ahead and close out, save the project. I'll go ahead and get that uploaded to Mega or wherever I'm going to put it. And you guys can see look in the description to get the download. If you followed along so far, you probably already got it anyway. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed. Can this keylogger be made better? Absolutely. This keylogger's trash. It took like 10 minutes to even conjure out of my ass. So there you have it, boys. So yeah, definitely want to make it better. There's lots of stuff wrong with it. If you like try to press like an arrow function and hit another key, sometimes it doesn't show up properly. Also, one other thing I may note to you guys is that the backspace functionality does not work. It shows you that the user pressed backspace, but it doesn't actually in real time delete it doesn't backspace the current character that needs to be backspaced. That's something you may want to add. Okay, so if you guys want to add that, I advise you to figure it out. It's really easy to do. But I mean, like I said, guys, this whole thing is for you to learn. So, all right, guys, it's almost been a whole hour. I hope that I've well explained this enough for newcomers coming into this to understand. And with that being said and done, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.